According to the Department of Health and Human Services, in 2021, more than 46 million people over the age of 12 met the criteria for having a substance use disorder. Look at that number, 46 million.
Over the age of 12. That's the key part. Nearly all of those people did not receive any treatment. So in honor of National Recovery Month, we wanted to really unpack what the road to recovery, what it actually looks like. Joining us now on set, we have licensed clinical social worker Kelly Kitley, as well as the author of Myself, which touches on your struggles with substance abuse. Kelly, it's great to see you.
Thank
you for joining us this Thursday. Can we just start right there? This is a personal story for you.
It is. It is. I have a long family line of addiction, and I've been in recovery for over 10 years from alcohol abuse. And so this is a story near and dear to my heart, and it's an area of expertise that I work with women to get into recovery. And so a lot of times what ends up happening is we are self-medicating. At least that was for my situation, and it's for a lot of women and men who are abusing substances, whether that's alcohol or drugs, because it's a self-medicating technique and it shuts everything out. And it's very cyclical. So a lot of times when people are feeling depressed, they will drink alcohol trying to numb, but alcohol is a depressant. And so ultimately it makes people more anxious, it makes people more depressed, and then it is a continuous cycle.
You just touched on it there, substance use disorder, but also the link to mental illness. Why is it so hard to separate the two, and why do they feed off of each other?
Because oftentimes when people are eliminating a substance, their symptoms become greater. So increased anxiety, thoughts of self-harm perhaps, or old traumas start to come up. And so the desire is, let me self-medicate again, because this is too hurtful for me to have to feel.
People don't want to have to carry the burden alone, and we're seeing all these studies uncover that there's a growing link for women specifically and substance abuse. Can you explain a little bit why that is?
Sure. So this is huge, and it's really increased since the pandemic as well, because women were home taking care of kids perhaps, as well as trying to manage school and a job, and there are so many balls in the air that women try to hold up, and so that anxiety is increased. Alcohol takes the edge off, and it's so acceptable in our society. So it's an easy go-to. My message is, let's not wait until we reach rock bottom. Let's be preventative. Let's take a look at how are we using alcohol in our life. And recovery is so important because it's not about eliminating the substance. It's also about building a community, working with a therapist, having a support system, and people in your corner who aren't questioning why you're giving it up, but really supporting you and congratulating you on your journey.
And by the way, congratulations on 10 years.
Yes.
So talk about the recovery, because it has to be challenging. We hear people say, take it one day at a time. What are some of the ways that you are able to manage and to stay in recovery? And is there such a thing as healing, or is it just something you work at every day, like you exercise or you try to eat healthy?
That is absolutely right. And so in recovery, I make it a daily commitment to get up and take some quiet time, to journal, to connect with loved ones. You saw me hug Joey. I love connection in that way.
Exactly.
And I have 4 kids, and I have to model for them. And they're in high school now. And so when I hear those numbers about 12.
Age 12.
Oh, we have kids who are experimenting because they're feeling such pressure.
And they don't know what to do with those feelings. For anyone who might be watching the segment right now, a woman who perhaps is thinking, you know, let me explore my relationship with this substance. How did you know? What was the turning point where you said, well, hold on, this is a little bit different and it may be problematic?
It takes a long time, which is why recovery is hard, because we try to quit and do it on our own. And it is about taking a look at, how's this impacting my life? And when I had repeated patterns in my own life, then I started looking at, do I need to take action? Do I need to ask for support? And so I dipped my toe in a little bit 10 years ago, inquiring about how other women were doing recovery. And I wanted something that they had. But it took me a long time. I started drinking when I was 12 years old. And as a 35-year-old woman, I had finally quit.
And there should be no shame in asking those questions
whatsoever.
and taking those steps.
But there's a lot of pride. We feel very proud.
Oh, goodness, yes. And I hope that that message is portrayed. It is a beautiful place to be.
Thank you for coming on with us. Licensed clinical social worker Kelly Kitley, and congratulations.